like this, don't come in a box score. Keenan with the Kel, just give me the rock more. Weather off the glass, nothing but the net. I'ma get you set, pick and roll, we can go with the whole four. Dick Vitale, look a diaper dandy. NCAA with the great handy.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Courtside Conference Podcast. I'm your host, Sam Stroud. For me, I got the returning favorite for the was it the third time my guy turned.
Yeah, third.
Got a special guy. We got our own guy Nick here today.
How's it going?
AKA, what's your ad name? At Tatum and Brown Inc. I think.
Yep, Tatum _Brown _Inc. It's a corporation.
It's a corporation.
Yeah, we got to keep them together.
Yes, sir. So how you feeling, my guy?
It's been interesting. It's been an interesting 24 hours, as we were talking about before. Nothing to talk about, really. No moves. So it's interesting for sure. Interesting to see what's going to happen the next few days, if anything.
Definitely. You a C's fan like us. So when did your journey with the team start?
Oh, from the beginning. I remember going to one of my first games. Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce, very fun. So I've been with the team from back then, early 2000s.
So you telling us you work at the Garden?
I do, yeah. So I work at the Sports Museum, which is in the arena. So I get to see the arena every day, which is really fun. The history is right all around me. So
that's awesome. So you like games for free or
reduced, $25 sometimes. I saw Kawhi and Paul George before the pandemic, $25. So that was fun.
Ooh, sweet.
That was a really good game.
Yeah, it was an amazing game.
Classic game.
Yeah.
That was the one where Tatum had he had 40?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
it was special. You could feel it.
I bet.
And they announced they were retiring KG's number too. Oh, it was great.
Oh man, that was a special night.
It was a special night.
Can't wait till KG's jersey retirement so I can fly out.
It's gonna be a great night.
Definitely. So how we feeling about free agency so far, folks?
I have something that all I can think about is like seeing all like the Lakers so the tweet today was some Melo signed with them too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, they got Melo, they got Russ, they got LeBron, they got AD. And it's like, I know everyone keeps on making the joke like, oh yeah, like this team would be great in like 2012. But like, I swear to God, like that exact, like the picture they used, I think is just like a Photoshop that's been on the internet for 10 years. Because like, I've seen like on Facebook memes in like 2012, like I've seen that they're like, Mamba's going to get some help type thing.
Oh, definitely. I had the Melo meme from like 2013 saved in my phone somewhere. I just could not find it earlier when the news dropped.
Well, the thing is, Lakers fans have like every single player who's ever played photoshopped in a Lakers jersey.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Yeah. They're in their down years even. It was
my God. That year, those like 5 years, they kept striking out on free agents.
Yeah, when LaMarcus Aldridge apparently didn't like the meeting so bad, they had to beg him for a second one in 2015.
That was back when like their best player was like Jody Meeks. And Tariq Black.
Oh man, back when guys were using them
That's
for free
Lou Williams
lunch during the summer.
Nick Young too.
Yeah,
I forgot they had Nick Young.
Yeah, he was a real. I mean, talk soon, real hooper.
Real hooper,
Yeah.
you already know, pure hooper.
You got to get Rashad on here because Nick Young was a real hooper.
Real hooper, not a basketball player, but a hooper. Know the difference, folks.
Well, you know, that got everyone so mad on Twitter, but like there is a difference. Like it's one of those things where it doesn't actually matter. And it's not something that's anything more than like a fun, silly discussion to have, but they are different. Like I know what he means. Like it's not it wasn't baseless. He wasn't just like making stuff up. Like, yeah, stylistically, John Stockton and Steve Francis are a lot fucking different.
Yeah, no, he had a good point. He just like worded it poorly. Had he used other words besides like hoopers to explain this point, it would have made sense.
The only part that was baffling was saying that Clay isn't a hooper. I'm like, Clay, all he does is shoot the ball. Like Clay's stat line, like they'll be like Klay Thompson will like win them like game 7 in the finals, and his stat line will be like 42-1-1. That's a real hooper.
That's a hooper.
Like 8 dribbles.
Kevin Martin 3.0.
Yeah.
Speaking of Clay, Steph signed that extension earlier.
That was big money.
That was a lot
I think
of
that
money.
last year's 59 million.
Ooh, at like what, 38 years old or something?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm cool
That's
with
crazy.
that. He's
I'm
done
not mad
enough.
at it.
That's a legacy contract.
yeah. That's the
Definitely.
Kobe deal.
I thought he was gonna like make it a little hard on them and make sure they actually like traded for some
Mhm.
good players for us. But yes, he saw the contract number, just like threw it all out the window,
Yeah,
which I'm
he's
not
like
mad at.
he's like the only one. Well, I guess Giannis could be too, but Steph. There was a lot of guys who just kept moving or whatever. But Steph's like going to be this next one who's going to be hopefully the one jersey your entire career, the Duncan guy, the Dirk guy. Like I hope it
Definitely.
happens. I never want to see him in another uniform.
No, we can't see him in another uniform. When
No.
he
You
gets tired of
forgot
the Warriors, he has
someone,
to
a
retire.
pretty glaring omission right there.
Yeah.
Udonis Haslemberg. He's been with the same team for 20
That's
years.
true. How could I forget him?
You got us out.
I forget. There's always like the chance he retires, but they always bring him back.
That was very bad. Have
Just
they
to
brought him
yell
back
at
yet?
It's just to yell at people. Dude, actually, one of the funniest things ever is his like per 36 stats are so funny. Because like the last like 4 years, he's played a combined like 9 minutes, but he scored like they're all like somehow he scored like 7 points in them. So like over the past 4 years, like per 36, he's averaging like 58, 12, and 14.
Those
I
are
love
Taco
those
Fall
stats.
numbers.
Yeah. Prime taco numbers.
Can we talk
Prime
about Chris
Taco.
Paul too?
Chris
Yeah.
Paul is a bad getter.
I couldn't believe it. I saw 3 years, 90 million going into it. They thought he'd get, but then he got the fourth year,
Not the fourth year.
guaranteed. Oh,
Well, I mean, that's
Oof.
he did this to him. Like, you have to give him a lot of props for 2017. You know, he's the union president, and
mhm,
back then you could only
Yeah.
only up to 36 years old could get a max deal. And he
mhm.
was like, he saw the writing on the wall, and he was
He
like,
did.
what if we made it till
Yeah.
40? And they were
Yeah.
like, that's preposterous. No 40-year-old's ever going to get a max deal. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look out for my guys, and
Mm,
he got himself.
yeah.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
like that's a bad getter to me. Like, good for him.
That definitely gonna like rearrange
Yeah.
that once he steps down from the union.
Oh, he's gonna be like, yeah, there was trickle down economics. Like,
Well,
he's
him
gonna
and-
take that away when he's gone.
When him and
Yeah.
LeBron retire, that rule's getting out of here.
Yeah.
They're gonna make sure like Ben Simmons or Embiid is getting paid 55 million at 37 years old.
Like, DeAndre Hunter's making how much?
How much? Absolutely not.
I can't wait to see the all-time earnings list someday. Like, when you see that John Collins today, John Collins turned down 125.
What?
Oh
He
wow.
turned down 5 when he said like he's holding out. That's like I saw Trey
God
quote the
bless.
tweet, but like it was a whatever. It was from NBA Central, but like from a blue check mark, and he turned down 125. But like the only thing that's so interesting to me is like, I mean, like you think like I don't even know, like Larry Bird probably made like $30 million in his career, or
Mhm.
like, but then like you get to like more recent players, and it's like, all right, like KG and Kobe made like 300 million, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
dude, John Collins is clearing that.
Yeah, last
Bro.
year Hayward was like the first guy to sign a second deal worth like what was it,
Or it's him,
30 million a year or something?
him, KD, and LeBron, the three best small
Yeah.
forwards.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, you're right.
Bro, Magic Johnson in like the 80s, he had like the biggest contract ever.
Oh
Like,
god.
25
What
years,
was it?
25 mil.
25.
25 years.
Mhm.
$1 million a year was the biggest.
Red
ever back
Auerbach
then.
didn't want to pay Larry Bird back in the day, and it was like 5 years, 3 million for a rookie deal. He's budget over that.
Imagine Magic Johnson, like Magic, like the by all accounts, like a top 8 player of all time, was
Mhm.
making the same per year as like I don't even know, like I can't even think of a
He's-
player like Rual
Magic was making the vet minimum today. Back then.
He's getting that prime Jordan Farmer scratch.
Facts. He getting the freaking Magic had the 2-way contract numbers back then.
He was on his best day. He had to prove himself.
Yeah.
That's why he won all those rings. They were like,
Yeah.
man,
Want to lose the bag.
they lost
when they
in
make-
7, and you know, when they lost to the Celtics in '84, they were like, time's running up, man.
Yeah, you got 22 years to go here.
No, what's the contract everybody clown Scotty for signing? Where he's making like 2 million a
Oh,
year for
yeah.
like 7 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was
7
the
years,
last
18
stand.
million, I think.
That was terrible. They made him do
No.
that. Like they pressured him into that one.
But like in the
Because
mid 80s,
he had family that needed the money too. He was
Yeah.
trying to secure it.
So that's still like considered generational wealth, like back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best
then-
bag getter in terms of. Oh, go on.
No, but saying, I was gonna say, like, then in today's standard, that contract would be like we were laughing at it in real time when we heard out about it. But I bet to him back then it made a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, even with inflation, though, the contracts are still up a lot. Like, they're still up a lot. Like,
Mhm.
Definitely.
like $7 million a year in 1980 is still not like 59 million for Steph. Like, it's not. It's not that much.
I mean, LeBron in the big three in Miami, they were like fighting over what, 16 million?
Yeah.
Like that's what it
That
was.
was- I was thinking about that the other day. Like him, Wade, and Bosch all signed for 17 or 16 mil each.
Yeah, that
I'm like,
range.
Evan Fournier money.
Yeah.
Evan Fournier scoffing at that. That wasn't
Yeah,
even that
like,
long
no,
ago. I was in high school. Like that wasn't
Yeah,
that long ago.
that was not
Exactly.
long ago.
It's crazy, man. How fast things like this change.
And that's when they were trying to fit Lowry in there. He was supposed to be the fourth piece to convince LeBron to stay. Now he's back.
Young Lowry.
Well, really, what did it, like the reason why the cap jumped so quick though is all because of that 2016,
Mm-hmm.
like how Katie got to sign with the Warriors, because it was pretty
Yeah.
steady forever. Like it was
Mhm.
always going up like 1.82 million a year, and then all of a sudden it went up 25, and Katie was like,
Yeah.
See,
At
that's
that
smart
point, the
planning by
money
the
was
how did they
Warriors.
let that
everywhere.
happen? How did they, now they're looking back, how did the hell did they let that
Look,
happen?
the Warriors had everybody on discounted deals because they were all hurt for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then they went out and put
Steph's deal. Oh man.
then they went out and put like the greatest show on earth on for 82 games and like ran the numbers up for the whole year.
Mhm.
And then signed KD with the extra money they brought to the league. That's crazy.
Steph's
Katie-
deal is going to be the most valuable one ever. 4 and 44.
Oh man,
Yeah, he won 2 MVPs in the ring off that. That's a
Just
great
absurd.
contract.
absurd. So who got the most preposterous contract so far?
Oof. It might. You know what? It's not too bad.
Did
like,
Marvin Bagley get
money-wise.
extended? Because that's it.
I think paying.
No.
I think paying Zach Collins anything was bad. That dude breaks his foot like every other month. Like,
The Spurs are cooked,
I mean, that it wasn't a lot of money, but I was surprised.
but you paid them in general.
Yeah.
The Pelicans trading for and paying Devontae Graham doesn't make sense. They could have just paid Lonzo.
See, I'll go another way. I think the Lonzo deal was an overpay.
It probably was. I can see
Yeah,
that.
I don't think he's worth
Yeah,
that much.
I think we all
Yeah.
kind of overrate Lonzo now because everyone underrated him for so long, and then his brother was so cool, and like he started
Mhm.
hitting some cool threes, and we were like, oh, like I bought
Ooh.
back into Lonzo so quick.
I'm never
Yeah.
buying the Lonzo stock in
Yeah,
full.
I'm there too. I can't.
I like him as a high quality star. That's about it. That's why I'm sticking up. If he ever makes an all-star team, I'll be surprised.
I mean, if you had to give Marcus Smart or Lonzo Ball that deal, I'm giving it to Smart.
Pretty much. I feel like Smart is getting a bad rep lately because of how he played last season when the team was like
Mm-hmm.
trash and dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
But like if
I
Smart
thought he
actually
played
gets,
fine.
you said what?
I thought he played fine.
He played fine given a circumstance, which
Yeah.
But I feel like if he would have actually had the healthy team all season, he would have like played way better
Mhm.
and probably
I mean,
like
he
been
was
way
he was
efficient.
averaging like 6 assists a game to start the year, and when he was
Exactly.
playing with Tatum and Brown, that's what he was doing. The shooting numbers weren't bad either.
Exactly. He was just
Like,
cold, but he wasn't taking like bad shots or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He might have been shooting like 10 shots a game.
Yeah. I
think
think
we're
everyone
gonna do that this
understands if
season.
he's not shooting too much, he can do
Yeah.
it.
Then he got hurt and came back to like a freaking mess, and then he just had to try to go out and do extra every night because they was always missing the starter. So,
Exactly.
what do you want to do?
All I know is that Patty Mills was a really good pickup.
That
for the
was a
Nets.
good pickup.
That was a good move.
Malik Monk is shameless.
All right, well, we're Kentucky guys. We
yeah,
can't
that's
we can't say nothing bad about him, but no, ring chasing at 23 is nasty.
nah, that's my
Yeah.
guy. He finally had a good season. He should have got paid, and he goes and takes the minimum
Yeah.
for the Lakers.
Well, I mean, like he's ring chasing. He's just getting out of the way. Like everyone hates when. Well, that's the thing. Everyone fucking hates Gary Payton, and like, well, I was gonna say everyone hates Karl Malone for that. But,
Really?
no,
Yeah.
but like everyone hates like Gary Payton and like like when guys like join like a championship team when they're 42, and
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? Pretty good idea joining at 22.
Yeah.
Right. Get it
Like,
out the way, then go get the bag.
get it out the way, like win the ring now, so that way you have championship pedigree and then get paid.
And then get paid. That's
Oh,
right.
you're onto something.
Honestly,
He got-
I can't imagine a year with LeBron James and Anthony Davis hurts. A year with Russ might like even it out. But
Mhm.
then again, if Malik Monk can put up a triple double, I'd be ecstatic. So you know
I-
what?
I love how DeRozan was supposed to take a pay cut too, and then it just gets what 4.85 go to Chicago
Nah.
too.
Nah, DeRozan would have been super nasty if he took a pay cut at this point.
Yeah,
My
he's-
balls are looking nice.
The lead pass team,
yeah. You brought something over there, Turn.
the most exciting 6 seed in
Well,
the league.
actually, no. This is a sweet spot for someone who's not a fan of the team but lives in this city.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't go to any Bulls games since I lived here. Well, because the United Center actually never opened back up compared to like, or if they did, it was very limited, and they were so
Yeah.
terrible. I didn't really want to go in the pandemic. But like, they're the right amount of team where they're going to suck just enough that the tickets are going to be cheap, but they're going to
Mhm.
be like at least fun to watch. Like,
Yeah.
I could see myself going to like 10 Bulls games this year.
Definitely.
Probably like tickets are going to be like $40 to hug the wall, and I'm like, I'll just see Zach LaVine dunk it. Like, that's cool.
That's what the
Well,
Celtics were like 2015, 2017. It was great.
I loved
re-
those. I loved those years.
I'm really mad the Wizards traded Russ before I could like get to the arena and see him in person.
Mm-hmm.
I was really looking forward to like this following season because when I
Yeah.
moved up here, the arena, like Turn said, wasn't open, and I don't think they opened it to fans till the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
Now,
like,
on the flip side, you get to watch Bradley Beal, get whatever he wants and mope around until he gets traded.
him and
Mhm.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, they'll be
Yeah.
trading in like stock tips with each other. Crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah, that was the dumbest shit ever. When Dinwiddie, no, not when he took the money in crypto. When Dinwiddie wanted to make like when people put like Black Lives Matter and education
Oh,
reform
Mhm.
on the jersey, and he was like, "Can I put 26 trillion to draw attention to the national?" And they were like, "No."
And he was trying to raise money for his own crypto or something to get started up, and he raised like what, like $80 or something.
80
It was
bucks. They told
something
Spen-
like
Yeah, they told
insanely
Spencer, get out of here, man. Like, who do you think you are?
and the market answered.
Yeah, the market. The GoFundMe was shut down like by the time we woke up the next morning. Spencer, that's out of here.
No, that's
Oh, man.
Spencer Dinwiddie. I'd never seen someone have like so much like random goodwill and then so much random like ill will. Because like 3 years ago, people were just like, like obviously casual fans didn't know him, but for the most part, people were like, yeah, he's a cool guy. He seems all right. Like,
Mhm.
good scorer for the Nets. He seems cool. And within like 3 years, everyone's like, what a fucking idiot.
Like when he made the Giannis what if mid finals, he was like,
Oh
I got a Marvel what if scenario. What if Giannis gets COVID due to his exposure to his brother and he can't play next year?
No
But
one liked it when
but
Reggie
Middleton
Miller was
wouldn't
playing
say-
that game. Oh.
It's like, shut up, dude. Oh man, the what if scenario mid finals.
I mean,
Sorry, you
Reggie Miller did the same thing in the
Did he
semis.
really?
He did this,
What did he
yeah,
say?
the same thing. He said, like after Game 5, when Durant had the game of his life, pretty much, it was like, what if the Nets benched Harden and Durant and rested them to save them for Game 7? You know what? Maybe he was right. I don't know, but
No,
Maybe.
he wasn't right.
It's like you could win this games. You could win this year, but you could also get hurt in game 7. So why don't you take it off and then you can win the next 2.
yeah,
You can win next
Maybe.
year and the year after because you're healthy.
Maybe if KD said that game 6, he would have had enough energy to make sure his toe was right behind the line, So maybe Reggie was on to something. You never know.
The
I-
ball's on Reggie Miller to question like anything.
Mhm.
Oh man, but Turn, you had thoughts about the finals you wanted to get out, right?
I have a few.
Yeah, if you want to share, you've been talking about it for like 3 weeks now. You want to get them out?
Yeah, I mean, like they're fresh on everyone's mind. Oh my god, hold on. I have to. You know what? 1 second. I need to charge this laptop.
Not the laptop charger. Is that a balcony? Let's turn. Oh, it's like you
Yeah,
see
it's
the
a nice
towers
view.
from this video.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? I'm gonna get doxxed.
Turn just styling on us with his luxury apartment. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
you look at
okay.
us and got the
Yeah.
blank backgrounds.
Yep. I got nothing special over here.
Same. Not a thing on the wall.
It's a nice view.
In my room, it's a Kyrie poster from like 3 years ago that I can't take down because it's my only like Celtic souvenir from when I went to a game.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna figure this out. Aha. You know when you have to plug in like 3 different wires to plug in one wire?
Yeah.
Oh, brother. There it is.
Yep.
If the cabinet catches on fire, we'll let you know.
You know, it's all right. But no, really the only thing that I still want to talk about from the finals is like then like the amount of like narratives and stuff. Like I know everyone hates that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But that like came out of this is like kind of crazy. Like, so I've been a big Chris Paul defender. When we did our podcast like a month ago, I talked about Chris Paul, like how much I always stick up for him. And like every single time around this, like every single year, like around this time, I'm like, man, why the fuck did I do that? Because like every single time it's the same thing. And like I feel bad because like I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, you know, like uses these small sample sizes and like low light clips to be like, oh, like, he's not that good. But like this isn't like a year 5 guy who's like, oh, he's working out the kinks or whatever. Like the writing's on the wall, man. It's like year 16, and like every single time he's ever been in like the high pressure big game, like he throws up on his shoes, and it's like I can forgive it like a few times. Like we all forgive LeBron for 2011 because he made up for it. I can't think of one time Chris Paul's ever made up for it, and every single time he does and like advances to a new round, well, he squatters at the net.
The same thing again.
Because like for the longest time, it's he couldn't get out of the first. All right. And then he did. And then he ruins it in the second. And then forever he couldn't get out of the second. Then he ruins it in the third. Finally gets to the finals. And we're like, okay. And like it happened again. Not to take away from Giannis. Like Giannis was great, but like Chris Paul in game 4 and 5 was like,
see,
that was
look,
bad.
All right, I'm glad you said that because I pointed out him in game 5. It's like he wasn't like god awful. He just like wasn't effective for like the first 3 quarters.
Yeah,
because
he was
he's old and lacks burst, and when you stick the best guard defender on him in the league, he's not going anywhere. So when Drew's just like standing on his hip all game, he's done just sit in the corner because like he can't run past him at this point. And that's all I want. That's all I was trying to point out on Twitter. And everybody was like, he's 36. What do you want to do? You think you want him to go out there and score 50 points? I'm like, well, they had the lead. He was like, they missed shots. And it's like,
I mean, come on. You don't get that many opportunities. What are you saving for? There is no next year. You know what I mean? Like,
they're
like,
like, they're like,
I have my health.
He played smart. He played smart ball. He made pass. I'm like, bro, he had a 6 point lead, man. Just go score some points.
Awesome. We might have to bring back the him and Darren discussion. Because Darren was Darren, and then he saw the first side of adversity when he got to Brooklyn, and you know what? He was just done. That was it. He saw the adversity, and he went away. Chris Paul should have ran from the grind a long time ago.
Yeah,
he probably should.
You could have been You could have played with LeBron a lot sooner. Darren Williams got to play with LeBron.
Right. To be fair, his last
2017. To
be fair, the last year,
Chris,
the last year he had his health intact. His hamstring decided to like fall apart at the end of that game 5. So you gotta give us a flex for that. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Chris Paul has had his health intact since like 2009.
Right. But but when he finally had it, that's the last point he had it fully intact. Then after that, he hasn't been able to run past like the above average defender since then.
And I mean, him, Harden, and Capella that year, I'm pretty sure, like in the regular season, they were like 50-5. Like they were beating everyone.
55-8.
Was it 55-8?
No, they won like 50 games that year, I think.
Yeah, but like
when
they were all playing.
Oh,
it was something preposterous.
But when
that was like
them as a trio.
That was legit one of the best offenses ever.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
And I remember the memes too after Paul signed there. It was like the one from one of the Will Ferrell movies, passing it back and forth or whatever. Him and Harden, they're like, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And it worked beautifully. Like they figured it out. Like
they did figure it out.
No, but Trevor Ariza was on that team.
Trevor Ariza.
We had a whole segment on Trevor Ariza last time.
That's another one.
Just keeps on getting it, man.
Trevor Ariza is any team that's like any team that's like a 2 to 3 seed looking to make a splash. He's there at the trade deadline.
When they signed Wayne Ellington, the Lakers, that was the most like in 2K, that's the move I always make when I have a team and I got no money. It's sign Wayne Ellington on the minimum. When the second they did that, I'm like, okay, like that's where we're at now. Like I never related more.
We talk about roles like, point forward and like stretch four. There needs to be like a name for like 3 and D guys, but they're not like high usage and they're not particularly good at threes or D, but they're just serviceable enough and they're really cheap and every contender wants them. Because it's like Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, and Al Farouk Aminu.
Yeah.
And they're like
PJ Tucker.
And PJ Tucker. Yeah, they're like their own little subspecies.
Yeah, just so we're clear, not Shemi Ojale.
No, Simi isn't good.
Seeing a little defensive that from Bucks fans, but
no.
I mean, the Bucks got the Giannis stopper. They signed him. It's like when Philly signed Al.
Oh yeah, the Embiid stopper.
Yeah.
I just hope the walls in the locker room in Milwaukee are structurally sound, because the medicine balls he's going to be throwing at him for like hours on hours, Shemi, because that's his thing, throwing the medicine ball against the wall. Like
right,
LeBron James could have swallowed his pride. They would have signed Deshaun Stevenson, and then they would have won the 2011 finals.
Oh man, Stevenson won the beast.
Stevenson, they had like mad beef, and the funniest part is it like involved Soulja Boy and Jay-Z.
And Jay-Z.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Oh man, but nah. So how you guys feel about the doom and gloom Celtics fans on the timeline? Since the Al Horford trade,
I'm becoming one of them.
Of course you are.
But I mean, it's not that I'm doom and gloom, like, but I'm more of like an accepting fate where like I'm not sad about it. It's doom, but it's not gloom.
Yeah.
We're like, do I think we're contending this year? No. Do I think we're like making it to the conference finals? Probably not. But like, I think Tatum could win MVP, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Tatum won the Courtside.
That's all I want. Like, why are we trying to rush a championship window of a guy who's 23 years old? Like, other than Dwayne Wade, who in the last 15 years has won a title at this age?
Exactly.
No one? Like, I'm being like, no one?
No, I don't think so. No. Unless you count Kawhi. Unless you want to count like Kawhi.
I mean, even he, what was he, 24 maybe? Yeah, 24, but.
He wasn't like the best guy on the team.
And then you get the Giannis, who's on the relatively young side. That's 26, so.
Giannis is
time to go.
Okay, but Giannis is the anomaly in this whole situation. Giannis has somehow managed to do everything in like 7 years.
Yeah,
dude, he's one of those resumes that's like so ass to like in like a good way, like so like come on, man. Where it's like, all right, he has the MVP and DPOY. It's like, oh yeah, he also was most improved. And I'm like, all right, like. Come on, like I know in like 2041 he's gonna win 6th Man of the Year.
You're right.
He just didn't get Rookie of the Year.
No, he's gonna do it this season just to challenge himself. Y'all's gonna come off the bench every day.
He's gonna win Rookie of the Year. Like, him and Ben Simmons.
Yeah, there you go. Battle.
Him, Ben Simmons, and Cade. That's the race.
He's gonna reclassify under a different name and go run the Rookie of the Year in like 3 years.
Oh god.
Yeah, Alex Antetokounmpo. That's who's in this draft.
Alex Antetokounmpo.
Wasn't his younger brother in the draft this year?
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
Now what's the movie called? Benchwarmers, where the little league team had the grown man. Had a piece of paper. Like, I'm 13. That's gonna be Giannis creeping back up in the draft in like 2027. Just to win Rookie of the Year.
He's gonna try to go get like the John Wooden Award, go to college for a year.
He's gonna win most outstanding player of the tournament. He's going for 80.
Giannis gonna run the gauntlet, baby. Most accomplished player ever.
I mean, he's getting close. Like,
nah, seriously, he is.
It's like really. It's like, yeah, that resume. Like, I remember like when I finally like wrote it out. Like, I was laughing to myself, and I was doing like the Rashad like #talksoon thing all night, being like, ooh, like. Someone's king from Akron better watch out. And then like I actually like, like Wikipedia like updated at like 2:31 in the morning, or like and it like seeing it all out, like finals MVP champion. All right. And like two MVPs, DPOY, all the defensive teams, all the NBA teams, and I'm like, yeah, he does have a better start to his career than LeBron. 26-year-old Bron did not have this.
He did not. Those are good days when before LeBron started winning titles and all our jokes like hell wait.
Yeah.
We didn't have to like get overly creative to find something to pick on him about.
I called, but I ain't get any rings.
Oh, that was good times.
Yeah. Hey LeBron, I got this for you. It cost $1, but you only have 3 Those were so bad that they were good.
There used to be one of him as a hockey player, and it would be like he only shows up in the third period because hockey only has 3 periods, so like there's no fourth quarter for him.
See, good times, man. Before you start like bursting all the narratives and actually winning titles, hitting clutch shots, it's like, oh, well, this isn't fun anymore.
So now that Giannis won and he got his Finals MVP, like I was poking around too. So there's 2 other guys that have multiple MVPs and a Finals MVP before turning 27. It's Kareem and Tim Duncan. So I mean, that's the trajectory he's on.
Yeah.
Like all those guys that won a Finals MVP that early, like at 26 or younger, they get another ring at least.
The other 2 guys who did everything the first half of their career.
Yeah.
And they don't get a DPOI.
That's true.
They don't.
That's a good point.
To be fair to Kareem, it didn't like exist until he was like 34. But like he doesn't have one. So what do you want? What do you want from me? And then Duncan, Duncan should have had like 5, but you know, Ben Wallace existed.
He did. How old was KG when he won MVP? Like 26 or something?
It was 2004. So
he got here when
he was a rookie in 95, 96. He was 18. So if you want to do that, 26, yeah, 26.
Yeah, 26, 27, yeah.
27, all right.
Then he didn't win Finals MVP.
No. He won Defensive Player of the Year, though.
They gave it to some fat guy. I don't remember.
Some fat guy who crapped his pants mid-game.
Yeah. They gave it to that idiot that's always talking to that got fired from ESPN.
Yeah, that former ESPN employee. Yeah.
Guy that had the strippers on his Instagram lives. What was Paul like? Yeah, I've been to Taiwan before.
I hate that. I hate that I'm known as the Paul Pierce hater on Celtics Twitter. Like
you are known as the Paul Pierce hater.
Like I literally anything could happen with them, and like I remember like when that like that story happened with Paul Pierce, and people were just like, "Don't let Turn see this," and I'm like, "All right, like that was funny." Like, yeah, like, I don't hate him for that. Like, I just thought KG was better. I'm sorry.
No, KG was way better, but that's no knock. Because KG is better than everyone except for like 20 players ever, maybe.
No, KG. I think you're selling him short. KG is better than everyone except for like 9 players ever. To me,
yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Like people are like, "Oh, John Stockton has the all-time assist record." I'm like, huh. Anyway, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Perch said John Stockton could not go to the Drew League and get his game on.
I'm so cool that I saw Jazz. No, I remember I did my top 50 all-time list. I did the thread on Twitter and
I remember that.
In December, and I was just like, don't ask where Rudy especially not Rudy Gobert. Don't ask where Rudy Gobert, Malone, Stockton are. I'm like, the Utah Jazzes don't exist. I only feel bad for AK-47 because other than that, the Utah Jazzes don't exist to me. Like, Paul Millsap's never cracking my top 500. Sorry.
I forgot Millsap. Him and Al Jefferson.
What about Derek Favors? Does he have any time?
Oh,
no, but Derek Favors. No, Derek Favors is on my shit list now. He finally turned 30. Took him forever. But it was the longest running joke in sports in basketball is that Derek Favors, like every single year, people are like, Derek Favors is 26.
Yeah.
Because he's always like, I feel like when he was a rookie, I'm like, man, he play overseas or something, drafted. He came in the league at like 16 and 8 months. He just got his permit. But he just turned 30 like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, it finally happened. I didn't think it ever would.
Look, man, Derek Favors tricked the league. Jazz fans, and the fans who actually watch a lot of teams, they're like, "Oh, Favors is so underrated. He just does all the important things." Then you watch the Jazz. Then, like when the average fan finally watches the Jazz, they're like, "Where's Derek Favors?"
He's doing the important thing.
He's not doing.
He's running payroll.
He's running. the average, like Jazz fans, like he just does everything. And then you watch the Jazz in the playoffs, and he's averaging like 4 points a game, fouling out within like record time, glued to the bench. It's like, all right.
Yeah, no, his career averages look like park numbers on 2K, like 3-on-3 to 21 games, like career years 6-6-2.
Yeah.
With the average, with the random 21 and 10 game every so often.
I mean,
Yeah, that's why Jeff Green, like that's why Jeff Green is so tantalizing, because like Jeff Green got like it's like one of the like every single season you're like Jeff Green, like he someone like some random team wins him in the Jeff Green sweepstakes. And they're like, how did he do last year? And they're like, all right, 16 6-3, like that's not bad. And then like you go to the game logs and it's like, oh, he had one game where like he had 81, he had like 81 54 and 36 and then 4 weeks in a row of 1-1-1. Like that's what happens. Like he has every single year he posts the best stat line you've ever seen. And then like 81 games of like DNPs.
Yeah, the Jeff Green highlights have to be like the most what's I'm looking for? The most misleading highlights you'll ever see. Because you'll see him like dunking on people and hitting like bitch shots during the game and hitting tough jumpers.
You'll understand why he went 5th overall.
Exactly. You're like, wow, this guy's
Georgetown pedigree.
This guy's a 6'8" athletic wing, can guard multiple positions, can handle the ball, shoot.
Way better hair than KD.
He's gonna be a steal for his team. Because then like teams tuck themselves into him. Then they watch him do nothing for like 3 weeks at a time before have like some random 25-point game. I mean, you just repeat the cycle.
You know who the new guy that is for me is Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes doesn't fit the league.
Well, I got sucked into watching his highlight tape like a few weeks ago, and I was like, this guy's like amazing. And then I was like, oh, but like then you look at like you wonder why like it's at weird angles, and then like you you open up the thing and like, oh, like you go and check the box score of them, and it's like, or you go to check like the score of these games, and it's like, oh, all of these are with 2 minutes left. And like they're losing by 30. But like the highlight play, like he's one of those highlight machines. Like every single good play in there was amazing. It's just that like I think they're very few and far between.
Well, speaking of highlights, I wonder who's going to replace Caruso now on the Lakers for that. Who's going to be the highlight generator they got to prop up? Bleacher Report propaganda.
It's going to be Russ.
It's going to be THT.
Oh God, I'm sick of hearing about him, man.
Bro, I don't mean any disrespect.
Tonde Hollis Tefferson.
Salute to him for getting this bag. But what does he do? He just looks athletic every time I see him play. I don't see him actually like do anything productive. I just see him like striding up court, looking like really fast and quick and athletic, and that's about it. There's no substance to it, really. And I hear Lakers fans like, oh, he's gonna have a big year. He's playing so well. It's like,
of course you wouldn't trade him for Lowry. Why would you?
Oh, brother, I hate Lakers fans.
How much did Caruso get?
139.
Really? Wow.
I think so. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
That's one of those contracts. It's like it sounds way too high for him, but like he's broke in the NBA. So actually, it's not too bad. Like, because I mean, Otto Porter was getting like.
I mean, that's what Avery Bradley got from the Celtics like 6 years ago. Going back there about how everything's skyrocketed up.
All right.
Oh yeah.
But now, shout out to my guy Tice for getting the bag though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm happy for Tice.
Super happy. Him and Kelly. Kelly got paid by Detroit for some reason.
They're just collecting. They're still trying to collect all the power forwards.
All the power forwards.
That's true. Yeah.
Them and the Knicks.
They're in an arms race to collect all the power forwards.
Speaking of this, why did the Knicks run it back?
Why did they run it back?
Why are they running it back? Same as that team.
James Dolan is like all he cares about is the bottom line, and he just got like a 4 seed, and like were they a 4 seed or a 6?
No, they were 4. They were 4 or 5,
and they just got a 4 seed, and they're just like, you know what? That's good enough. Like we sold out a bunch of playoff games in Madison Square Garden. I'm cooling. He made all his money.
He has goodwill for once that he's going to spend too.
Right. Is he on the pay Julius Randle?
I hope so. I hope Julius
Yeah.
gets the bag. I mean, Kentucky guy. I'm happy for him. Like, do I think he's a fraud? Do I think it's an outlier? Of course. Do I want him to get paid? Yeah.
Of
Mhm.
course.
It's not hurting my pockets. It's hurting the Knicks. Like, but
Right.
RJ surprised me. I think like
I like RJ a
surprised
lot.
me. You know, the best player from his class in high school and a second overall pick, a third overall pick. Still, like was really good.
Yeah, in his godfather Steve Nash. Like,
His godfather is Steve Nash.
That's the most random fact ever.
Yep. Yep.
I forgot all about
I
that.
swear.
That's his
Yep.
Uncle Dennis.
This is Uncle Dennis. Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve. Yeah.
Uncle Stevie.
Kawhi.
But I like
Can we talk about Kawhi not like Kawhi declining?
Kawhi is taking teams on a tour to make them buy him dinner. And then he's gonna re-sign back with the Clippers.
Yeah, your tweet the other day back at me was so funny. Like they're like Kawhi's like, I'm looking for a no trade clause. I'm looking for a 5% trade kicker, and I'm looking for a max deal. And Uncle Dennis is like, pave Uncle Dennis's driveway too.
Kawhi said, I just had surgery. I need you to build this ramp onto my house. So I don't have to struggle getting up the stairs the next like couple months.
Uncle Dennis is like, yeah, they're like over there. They're like, you know, it's
Uncle
like the
Dennis-
finals. They want to
Uncle
go.
Dennis' lap-
My
Uncle
fucking
Dennis'
gutters are
laptop
full.
just broke.
He's like Paulie on the job site in The Sopranos. He's fucking but like, no, Kawhi has the biggest like balls in the league, man. Like, not just like on the court. Like, yeah, on the court, he'll take any shot, he'll guard anyone. But like, I cannot imagine having those knees and that injury, like tearing my ACL with those knees, and then people like having the guaranteed 40 million, being like, "Fuck you, pay me." No,
Right. After Paul George has like led the team to the conference finals after he died.
Oh, Paul George is sick. I know that. Paul, like, no.
Paul George's like, yeah, I finally proved myself. In Kawhi's like, yeah, happy now. Gonna take some meets with some other teams. Nothing personal.
Paul was like, I finally proved myself. He's like, well, you know, I was in a similar situation once and we won the damn thing. I guess I can't trust you.
Oh no. Carl, you ready to say something about Kawhi? Lost my whole train of thought laughing at Paul George. Oh man. But no, Kawhi's gonna resign though, I think.
I mean, yeah, just a lot of money.
He's just having a good time at the moment and trying to enjoy summer.
He's not 30 yet, is he? 29?
29, going on 30 this year.
He's got a year left before I turn on him.
Before you turn.
Yeah.
You're like John Henry over there.
Yeah, he's gonna be 30. Oh heavens, trade him.
Yeah, no, don't screw that.
Tatum's gonna turn 30 someday too. We can start thinking about that.
Oh,
Turn starts treating the 30-year-olds in the league like running backs.
I mean, like really, that the only players who I treat like that, like the running back to me is like any traditional five. Like Jokic, Embiid, and like AD are cool. Like they're in Towns is cool, but like other than that,
what about Bam?
Yeah, he's cool.
All right.
Bam's more of a
maybe there
power
are
forward
some
to
cool
me, though.
centers. All right. You know who I'm turning on then? Traditional power forwards then. Fuck
Okay.
traditional power forwards. Just be
There
a
you go.
three. Just be a three.
Just be a 3.
Just run 2 threes.
If you're not a stretch 4, turn doesn't love you.
But no, like, you know what? Maybe I'm still stuck in like 2017 because like whenever I'm like, oh, the centers, like we don't need these lumbering centers anymore. Like actually, there's probably there hasn't been this many good centers since like 90.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's evolved the past few years for sure.
My other favorite part too is when people are like, oh yeah, like, oh, Jokic and Embiid are only doing this because there's no centers. Like Shaq had to run through real centers. I'm like, Todd McCullough? Like, Travis Knight? Like, actually, now that I think
Chris
about
Dudley?
it, Shaq might have played in the worst era for centers. There was
Well,
good
yeah.
power forwards,
Yeah.
but there was like good centers.
He played in the best power forward ever. But his actual peak was when all like the great centers were like washed up.
Yeah,
No
heck,
offense to Shaq, of course.
the great centers in question is Akeem Olajuwon guarding Ewing when they're on the Magic and the Raptors.
Yeah. But I respect it from Shaq's point of view. Spend some years, getting the bag, making movies, rapping, And then when like all your like OGs finally need like walking sticks and whatnot, go with some championships.
Yeah, no, it's really ugly. It is really ugly to look back at like those East teams they played in the finals. Like,
Yeah.
looking back at like the starting centers for all three,
That was
like,
the
Dikembe
Stone Age.
Mutombo, like the corpse of Dikembe is far and away the best player.
Shaq absolutely dominated Jason Collins in the finals. Like, was
I was
that
just gonna ask, like, who was even starting? Oh, that's great.
Oh man, for Eastern Conference right there. Then
Yeah.
Tim Duncan gets there the next year and like slaughters the Nets too.
Those Nets teams were funny. And then they got Vince Carter and never went back. Wonder why. But anyway, I have that whole entire thread where it's like, dude, death just follows him. Like any team he goes, he's gone to 3 different teams that were in the finals the year before and they never made it back. I know that it's obviously because they're all like older teams or whatever, but like there's something to that.
No, when he got to Orlando and Dwight is in like his physical peak, and then
was it Dallas?
I think Dwight's bat started to give out the year after Vince got there or something.
Yeah, and then he went to Dallas.
So it was Dallas.
The Mavericks won one of the hardest rings of all time and beat the Heatles. Vince Carter shows up to be like, let's run it back, and the Mavericks haven't been out of the first round since. He retires, and he retires, and the Hawks go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Look, at least the Kings still haven't got together though. Wasn't Vince on the Kings? It was at the
Grizzlies.
That was the Grizzlies
that beat the fucking Spurs as an 8 seed, and then they were like, ooh, like he's like, I can do what Rudy Gay does.
Well, a lot of people could do what Rudy Gay did in that era. To be fair,
I'd argue not many could, because I don't know how many people were given the leash to score as much as they want on as low efficiency as they wanted.
Look, man, somebody on those teams had to get buckets. When they're playing at the slowest pace in the league and don't have many like go-to scorers, somebody had to go get the buckets.
It could have been Tony Allen time.
No, it was not going to be Tony Allen time.
9 points.
There was one game a year before the big 3 got together in Boston, and Tony Allen scored like maybe 27, 30 points. And I'm like, wow. And like a week later, he was like out for the year. Like, and that was that. That was that.
He blew his knee out.
That was that.
I mean, he is one of the best defenders ever, though. We're not going to take that away.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The grandfather. Love Tony. The funniest moment is, I think, it was like one of the OKC games in like 2014. Well, I think he like accidentally tackled KD or Russ trying to shoot a 3 from like 40 feet out or something, and gave him 3 free throws at the end of a game.
You know what though? I get that. Set the tone.
Set the tone. You have the game once, so might as well go foul the shooter.
Yeah, like you're gonna make these free throws, but just know I will bury you. Like the Jordan. Honestly, the Jordan rules would have worked really well on someone like KD. KD's my favorite player ever, but if some team had done that to him, it would have been over a long time ago.
Some team just dedicated like every possession, just tackling KD every time he got the ball. Like,
KD, oh no! And you know, KD after that would have been like on Twitter, like, "This ain't basketball.
This isn't hoops."
This ain't hoops.
And then someone would be like, "You're soft," and he'd be like, "Could you guard me though?"
I love KD. KD has time even in Tokyo.
KD is
you gotta respect the greats.
Him and LeBron are like on opposite ends, but they're the 2 best posters in NBA history. Kevin's the best because he's just so like petty and so like, you know, like always arguing, always on 10. And LeBron's the best because all he does is lie. And like lying is so funny. Like people get mad at it and they're like, "Oh, LeBron's so corny, like he's a liar." I'm like, dude, the video of him saying like, "I was watching that game with my friends and I said, yo, I think Kobe could get 80 tonight." That's the funniest fucking claim I've ever heard in my life.
Or I said Suggs was gonna hit that 3.
Yeah.
No, but LeBron actually might have said he probably did say Kobe's gonna get 40. Well, LeBron, you did not predict he was getting 80. He was on 40, like, you know what?
Not a very good prediction because didn't Kobe average like 40 for the month? Like,
he was
good prediction, man.
He was averaging 40 for like 2 weeks prior to that. So LeBron was like, "Yeah, another 45 for Kobe tonight." Then he just said to the camera, "Yeah, I told my friend 75 easy. I know you did it.
Yeah,
let's see some-
that's up there with the most like outrageous lies ever.
I told you when him and KD retire, they don't start a podcast and just trade lives for 90 minutes every week. It's coming, bro. 2030
did
when
that
the
thing in the
LeBron and KD
car.
pod hits.
They did that little show.
Oh,
where they
that's
talked in,
right.
the limo.
Yeah, it's the prelude, man. That's the prelude.
Mm-hmm.
KD's gonna get on there and just like start lying about his years for the Warriors. He's gonna be like, yeah, you know, I never really thought of Steph as that guy, so I thought I would go there and give him some mentorship when I got to the Bay.
Actually, right too, because LeBron would totally co-sign that.
Well, he'd be like, yeah, Steph wasn't doing much before you got there. No, and he just beat him in the finals.
I am curious to see what he does though when that day comes and he retires.
Media KD or media Bron is gonna be hilarious.
He's always said
No media,
like
Bron, just acting. Bron will never be on ESPN.
He's always said though he wants to own a team, and that's always
Right.
been kind of what they've been trickling out there for years. Him being an owner.
It's gonna be like minority owner.
What team does he buy though? Like no, he's got to be a full owner like Jordan now. Like, what team does he buy though?
He's done about the Cavs. I hope so. It's already his franchise.
Yeah.
We only know the Cavs because of LeBron. They have no history prior to
I'm still mad KG didn't get to buy the Timberwolves and freaking A-Rod did.
That's BS.
Yeah.
That would actually be like a really funny thing. Like the franchise, whoever like the franchise icon is, like just gets the franchise and bestows it. Like KG gets the Timberwolves, and then in like 40 years, he's walking with a cane and like he shakes Anthony Edwards' hand.
Gives him the deed. Yep.
No, we're laughing. But Dirk is gonna own like half the Mavs one day. I'm pretty sure.
No, I think he already I slick think he does because like those deals he was signing. Remember, like there was jokes for years where it was like like everyone else is eating and like Dirk is like Dirk is bringing a plate of tinfoil that his wife made him.
No, Mark Cuban keeps giving Dirk like random jobs within the organization just to like make up for that money. Like
no, this was money laundering somehow. This was illegal, and I need to look this up because I'm not making this up. But like 5 years ago, Dirk signed a really, really cheap contract with them to like stay for a couple more years, and it was like a wink deal because Dirk made a documentary and they bought it off him for $50 million. The Mavs gave him, so he signed for like 4 years, like 20 million, some little deal just to retire with them, and it was obviously was a shitty deal. And then he made a documentary about his life, and Mark Cuban's like, "This is so amazing, I'd like to buy it. $50 million." Probably sold like 20 copies on DVD.
Well, I don't know how to do in Germany though. Come on.
Probably killed him there.
I'm just saying, like that should be like the wave. Like instead of like that Joe Smith thing where it's like instead of giving out like little things like, hey Tatum, like man, like let me buy Deuce's like test in school. I want to hang it up on the fridge. $100 sound cool?
Yeah, I'll buy your Tesla from you, Tatum, for $50 million for the next 5 years.
I want to buy all the Jalen bucket hats. Let's go.
Oh, stuff. I was getting some real takes real quick though. So top of the East after the Nets fully healthy this season,
Bucks.
based off what we've seen so far.
Bucks. You have to give them their props, Bucks.
I agree.
Bucks.
Milwaukee.
Yep. You guys buying Heat stock?
No.
With Lowry? No.
No,
maybe a little.
Never moved the needle for this guy.
I don't know. Maybe it's too early. Maybe I am a little, but I like what they have there for some reason. Maybe it's because I just don't like Dragic. So,
all right. So where did the Bulls finish with their revamped team?
7.
Yeah, they'll be in the playing game.
Yeah, I believe it.
DeRozan just like feels so redundant. Like
it's very redundant. I don't understand.
Like, what is DeRozan giving you that Zach LaVine isn't giving you better?
Exactly. You already have Lonzo, who needs the ball to finally be the past first guy that he should have.
Catch and shoot DeRozan sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's
you know what it's gonna be? It's gonna be the reverse Pistons from when they had Josh Smith, Drummond, and Monroe. It's gonna be like the reverse like that with the guards.
Just 3 2 guards.
3 2 guards. DeRozan catching and shooting from 19 feet up instead of shooting from 3.
Yeah.
Corner long twos.
Yeah, the spacing from the elbow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that song. Who else made some splash? Let's see. He Nets still best team, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I got Celtics at like a 4 seed.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a home, but I could see them sneaking up and getting the top 5 seed.
Well, no, not a homer. There are people on Celtics Twitter that will like shoot you dead for saying they're not a 1 seed.
There are also fans who will shoot you dead today for saying they're not like the 10th seed.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair.
No, I know. Celtic like there's like 2 Celtics fans in the middle on Twitter.
Right.
Like it's everyone's either like, yeah, like 1 seed, 78 wins, or we're moving to Beijing.
Right.
We're signing J. Cole.
What do the sitters do about Ben Simmons?
Hopefully make him go play with J. Cole.
I think if Portland wanted to do it, him for McCullough would make sense.
I think that's the best deal he's getting.
No, you can't do that.
You don't think so?
Wait, which side can't do that?
You can't do that if you're the Sixers. No. Ben Simmons, no, I'd rather CJ McCollum than Ben Simmons, but I need more than that just because like you trade a 3-time All-Star DPOY runner-up first overall pick for a 30-year-old injured 2 guard. Like Danny Ainge, Danny Ainge is retired, but guys like that are licking their chops. Like they can get anything over on you now. Like you need to hold that pedigree up. Like even if you know that Ben Simmons is damaged goods and you know he's not going to work out, you need to be in that room. Like this is the first overall pick we're talking about. This is a DPOY runner-up. Taking him for CJ fucking McCollum. Right. What's his accolade? Like leading the league in free throw percentage 8 years ago? Not that accolades are everything, but come on.
Leading the league with playing in broken backs.
Right. But they're running.
He was litty off the perks, though. He was good off the perks.
But they're running out of options, though, because they're asking for they're asking for the Celtics and Nets package from 2013, apparently.
You remember when they almost traded Ben Simmons for fucking Harden?
Almost, until I think Tillman got cheap at the last minute and said no.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think he wanted to trade with Morey, but
that's messed up.
But still, like the fact that like it was even a possibility that it was going to be Harden, and now it's like CJ McCollum.
Yeah,
that's pretty rough.
That's scary. I just want better for Embiid because like even though I get it, we're Celtics fans, we hate the 76ers. I like Joel Embiid. I like him. I think he's a fun guy. I think he's a good center. Like I think he's good. It's a very blazing take. Like you should clip that. Put that in the preview. Joel Embiid is
hot take
good.
over here.
Hot take. But so if Dame asked out, do the Blazers settle for Ben Simmons for Dame?
I mean, Dame is a very good return. Yeah. Do the Blazers take it?
Yeah, do the Blazers take that deal? The Sixers take it every time, but do Portland look at Ben Simmons?
They might have to, because if Dame wants out, he wants out.
Well, if you get once again, we were talking about this before. If they're going to attach like 7 picks to it and make it seem like, all right, this is us getting rid of James Harden, then maybe convince them that way.
You never know. No, they better move fast. So they should not go into the season with them, but I think they are though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more interested in the West.
Really?
Like this year, like the East, like there's plenty of good teams. Point. They're relatively boring.
But the West seems like the Lakers, and then everybody else just kind of like right.
Who do you think wins the West turn?
Like, I'm never gonna give up on Kawhi Leonard. So like, I think like if Kawhi like can come back like a KD, like if he can, that's a big ask. But if he can, like I still would I don't know, like Russ is a great competitor, and I love watching Russ play. But like I don't know how much he moves the needle for this team. Like Russ and LeBron seem like largely like they're doing the same thing.
But Russ, to me, is insurance for LeBron.
Yeah.
So LeBron can finally coast into the season.
Mm-hmm.
So they can just let Russ go run 100 miles an hour for 82 games until LeBron's like in shape for the playoffs. So that's my rationale for the Russ signing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't think LeBron's like. I do see the people saying like, "Well, what's going to happen when it's Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals?" And and Russ dribbles off his foot and throws it off the backboard. I'm like, LeBron ain't letting that happen.
No. I mean, we've talked about forever. LeBron's gonna like maybe give the reins off to someone else. He's gonna take a step back in Miami. He's gonna let Kyrie take
Never
over.
done that.
It's never happened.
Never.
And it works. It works.
It
Like,
works.
he knows what he's doing.
He has never taken the back seat a day.
No.
You remember when
hasn't.
Wade was like, remember like when they first got together and Wade would always do those interviews and he's like, you know, it's so like it was tough handing over the reins to Bron, but you know, it was my team, but I did the right thing. And it was like, I don't know if we really handed it off. I think Bron was just like, thanks. But
Like, okay, we're done being 9-8.
LeBron was
then again, the year
peaking.
one was pretty close.
Yeah.
Like they both averaged like 26, but by year two, it was like
But year two, LeBron is like the best basketball player on the planet by a very wide margin. And then here comes Wade midseason. It's your team, man. LeBron's like, okay, thanks.
yeah, when they were on the Cavs, like he was like, yeah, they're on the Cavs, and he's like, I just want to tell you, like, it's okay, it's yours.
Right. But no,
Derek Williams.
Look, I need LeBron to have some shame this year. If LeBron lets Russ and Kate and AD like shoulder the load for the first half of the season,
let him
and
get
then
his triple doubles. Triple doubles,
and then pops out an All-Star break being like, I don't think anybody's more valuable than I am for like the 10th year in a row.
Well, yeah, that's the LeBron corollary where he's the most valuable player to have just by him existing. But at the same time, yeah, it's he'll take 2 weeks off. He'll go film a movie. He'll have like a game where like he's taking a nap on the bench, or the game he's playing with a fucking water bottle on the bench.
He'll go
and then like around March, he's like, "Why not me? Why count out the king?"
Right? They're gonna be like, "Yeah,
I'm just a kid from Akron."
It's gonna be like, "Yeah, Giannis is really playing well this season." LeBron, the hit of your matchup. LeBron's like, "Yeah, but I think I should still be the MVP." Even though AD and Russ are over here, you know.
Well,
but...
that's gonna change. That's gonna change Westbrook's calendar though, because it's always March where it's like the triple doubles come up, and it's like he's the most underrated player in the league. Though you forgot about Russ. Like,
oh, that's gonna be fun.
He's gonna change his whole schedule now.
Russ and LeBron trying to posture for awards in March.
The best shameless LeBron quote was last year when he was like, you know, like he's like, I could improve at anything if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I could shoot 90% from free throw. I'm like, why wouldn't you want to? Why do you not want to?
What are we
You've
doing?
never come close. You've never shot 80.
No, the year KD was 54 and 90, LeBron was like, yeah, I'm actually do that if I want to.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, no, the year that he did 50-40-90, LeBron did 50-42, 50-40-72. Like it's the free throws, which free throws are the weirdest thing to me, just because it's the only stat in basketball that like the team doesn't matter. It's the only stat in basketball that's individual. So like it's the only one that's like you can say like my field goal percentage is low because I don't get open looks and like my guys I'm getting double teamed. Like free throw line, there's really you just can hit them or you can't. Like there's no reason why you're missing them.
Exactly. So what do y'all see the Suns this season? How far of a step back do they take?
Oh, they scream to me first round exit. Like the Ravens,
Miami Trek, yeah.
Like the Ravens after the Super Bowl, like the Super Bowl hangover thing, or like the Eagles, like whenever the team wins, like gets that far, and like when they're not like a Patriot, or you know what I mean, like when they're like the Mavericks, like there are Mavericks that didn't win. Like Chris Paul, they're gonna go into the season cocky as hell. Book is gonna be like, I know what I'm doing now. And Ayton was getting. Bill Simmons was saying that Ayton was fucking Shaq 2 weeks ago. So
Perk was calling him David Robinson.
Yeah, Perk was calling him that. Yeah.
50 people ding dinner. But
what you think, Nick?
I agree. I can see what happened in Miami this year happen into Phoenix for sure. Like a lower, like second,
that's a
bottom four team in the West. Some other teams coming back up, because I mean the West, it's a dogfight no matter what. Like you got to be there year to year. Like there's no teams that can really coast to the top every year. So
not at all. Y'all see the Clippers being like top 3-4 in the West without Kawhi for maybe like half the season.
Yeah, like Paul George is like a good enough player to do that. I think. I mean, he was doing that in Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, like Paul George surprised me, and
Someone got to step up and help him though.
That's what
He
Reggie
had Patrick
Jackson's for.
Beverly. Excuse you.
Right.
Um,
You got Luke Kennard over there waiting.
no, Paul George is one of those guys though that it's hard to talk about him because, I mean, every single game he's ever played determines his legacy. So
Mm.
Yeah.
it's like
I mean,
every game he's ever
every
played,
second, yeah.
every possession is just like, oh,
Because in that game too against Phoenix, I was like, wow, like look at him, he's turning around, and then all of a sudden 2 seconds later he misses those 2 free
Oh
throws.
man,
We're like,
that was
what are we
all I
tough.
doing
know is
here?
that the Jazz are fool's gold. Like they're not doing this again. They
No,
had
absolutely
they
not.
had their pandemic ball
Mhm.
season. They're done.
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell's
yeah.
going to leave, and Rudy's going to be eating 70 million of cap space while they waste away.
Oof. Good lord. Rudy Gobert can't win any more awards. If
No.
they politic Giannis out of an MVP because he got a wall built because he can't get past 3 defenders guarding him for like 2 years in a row,
Mhm.
then Rudy Gobert cannot win another
No,
Defensive Player of the Year
he's a
award.
con man. We all get
No,
it.
enough.
We all
When
get
Enough.
it.
Rudy Gobert
We
gets into the Hall of Fame, I'm gonna
like
go
we,
down.
like we get it, Rudy. You're the only good defender on the team, and if you do this, then blah 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 blah. They make layups. Who cares?
Mhm.
Enough. You're out of here, buddy. We don't care anymore. No more. He'll probably sneak into another All-Star team. I hope not, but he probably will.
That's the thing. Like, I can't imagine a player I'd rather see less in an All-Star game. Like, I know that like
Mhm.
it's the All-Star game to me. Like, why isn't All NBA? Like, All NBA is what it's supposed to be. Why isn't the All-Star game just like? Why the hell is Lou Williams and Jamal Crawford not in it? It's just supposed to be fun.
Mhm.
They need to do like a pickup tournament like that All-Star weekend.
The all Hooper game, yeah.
Yeah, take out the skills
And
challenge.
yeah,
and just
one-on-one
get, like,
hoop game. I'd be fine with. I'd love to see Rudy Gobert in that.
do a 3-on-3. Get
Yeah.
the 6-man, the guys with the fancy dribble packages, and let them go at it. Gain of 21.
Man, I fucking hate Rudy Gobert, man. I can't stop
Yeah.
thinking about it. Like these awards, like, and that's the thing. All of them are so dubious. Like this might be his best case because, like, yeah, Ben Simmons, but like Ben Simmons probably could have got it. It's inexcusable that he won against AD in 2018,
And Giannis.
Mhm.
The
and
next
then in
year.
2019, yeah, he beat Paul George and Giannis. I'm like,
Giannis.
Mhm.
I don't think he was a better defender than Paul George. That Paul George was
See,
incredible.
I can understand the one he won over AD because that's before the jig was really sky high. So like I said, he's the only good defender on the team, and we saw him like miss I think a couple weeks that season. Then they sucked, and then he came back and they shot up. So I get that one. But the very next year when he won over Giannis and Paul George, that was ridiculous.
Mhm. I agree.
Yes, I just feel like in today, like I'm not saying that shot blockers are like obviously protecting the rim, very good and cool, and you need that. But like that's all he does. And like our rim protectors who don't leave the key for like they for 3 seconds at a time. Are they really DPOYs in today's game? Like look at the guys who won it right before him. Like it was Kawhi 2 years in a row. It was Draymond.
Mhm.
Who won it before Kawhi?
Mark Gasol.
Oh yeah, that was ugly. That was
The
stupid.
year LeBron was posturing for
Mhm.
Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that was
probably
ugly.
should have won it.
But like it was on a good trajectory where it was like Kawhi and Draymond, and it was like
Mhm.
okay, yeah, like it's versatile
No.
guys.
And
who
even
can do everything.
and even Joe Kim, no, that's the one before Kawhi actually.
Oh, okay.
And Joakim Noah had way more range. Like he could get out to
He
the perimeter a
did.
lot better.
Joel used to run the whole
Mhm.
floor, and
Yeah.
he was really doing everything that year because that's when Derrick Rose was out for the second time.
And it just bothers me because I mean we see how it goes in the postseason no matter what with these bigs. Like the metrics can say whatever, but we know at the end of the day you're going to be there in the postseason, and you could get picked on easily, and it's
Exactly.
over. Like
As soon as teams find that set to neutralize you, it's
Mhm.
over. Like as
Mhm.
soon as
That
Ty Lue
happened.
realized
That
he
happened
could
with
go
the Clippers
small.
because
Mhm.
he was doing good at first, and then the last game they were abusing him.
Yeah, as soon as Ty Lue realized he could go small and they weren't guarding Terrence Mann,
Mhm.
and then he empowered Terrence to just shoot away.
Mhm.
It was a wrap. Kid had 39 that last game.
Yeah, that was special. That was fun to
special.
watch.
So you can't have that bit glaring of a flaw in what's supposed to be your best asset, and then still claim to be the best of the best. You know what I mean?
Year after year.
Yeah.
I have a question.
What's up?
Who's your league pass team in the West End? Because we said the Bulls, right?
For the Bulls in the East. Maybe the Warriors.
I have one. I really, really, really want to watch the Rockets this year.
I want to watch the Rockets too.
Because KPJ, Christian Wood, and Jalen Green.
Oh yeah, those kids gonna be good.
Like this sounds like a really fun team.
Yeah,
it does.
And John Wall.
They have the veteran leadership for John Wall. But John Wall probably good to have around those kids for like maybe 1 year since they're not trying to really win games.
Well, you don't want John Wall, then that guy's a winner.
Wall might sneak in some extra wins to show him how it's done a little bit before they, trade him off maybe at the deadline or something.
I can't get over that preseason where it was Wall and Boogie played like one game together, and they're like, Harden's missing out here. There's a crew here. There's a squad. And he tried it for a week, and he goes to the press conference hard, and he's just like, okay, all right, we're done here. Like,
that was an all-time lineup of like those things where like how like the Lakers this year, where it's like if you had seen this team in 2012, like if like 2017, like it's like, yo, Harden, Wall, and Boogie, I would have been like,
I mean, that is when Wall and Boogie were at their peaks too. I mean, we know how they fell, but
injuries though. I mean, like I think they would still be good players.
Yeah, no, I agree. But those were their peaks.
NBA needs to turn off the injury slider because it's throwing in too many careers.
Definitely. Boogie can't even like move laterally now.
No, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Oh
and
yeah,
he looks like so much skinnier now too.
Remember on the Warriors when people were like, "How much help does Kevin Durant need?" And then Boogie played like 17 minutes. Like, Boogie didn't do a damn thing for that team.
He didn't.
So speaking of the Warriors, Clay's going to be back. What do you guys think about that?
I like the Warriors. I don't know how good Clay's going to be, but if he can just
his game though is just catch and shoot.
It is catch and shoot. So if he can just make open shots, which nobody seemed to do last year.
I never used to feel good about guys after those leg injuries and the Achilles, but I mean, seeing Durant do it, it could very well just be an outlier, but I mean, he's not relying on athleticism.
Exactly.
Kawhi's never been super athletic.
No. I think Clay might take the hit conditioning-wise.
Clay, not Kawhi, I'm sorry.
Not yet. I think he might take the hit conditioning-wise because, like, his game requires a lot of constant movement.
That's true off ball.
And after and after 2 knee injuries, he might get like tired after shorter periods than he did before.
That's a fair point.
I think once they work around that, he'll be fine though.
Like I think his numbers could dip, right? Like it could be, or he might play less minutes. But like, are you telling me that you still wouldn't want him as a 3-point specialist? Like,
absolutely.
Like close game, like like they run some pick and roll for him, and he's just wide open in the corner. Like, yeah, that'd be great. But
exactly.
He's always going to be valuable.
And if teams are still sending the house at stuff, somebody like said Clay's going to eat regardless. So he's not like Oubre and Draymond where Steph has 4 people on him and neither of them can like hit a shot to save their life.
Draymond
refused to shoot the ball these days, so Clay's gonna get his looks.
Draymond was like wide open on the top of the three and like throwing it over defenders so Steph could catch it. Like, I need the assist, man.
The backpack shot.
You're right. And then he was like, why would I shoot the ball if I can just pass it to Steph? Who's the best shooter? And it's like, bro, Steph is being covered by 4 people.
Yeah.
You really can't argue with that logic, though.
I can't get that look out of my head, though, of when Draymond went for that layup at the end of the Grizzlies game. And the Warriors are supposed to win that game, and he just bricked it.
Clear. Off the backboard.
Wow. Yeah, that was really underrated that the Warriors didn't make the playoffs this year. Kind of sad.
I want to see Steph light up the Lakers. Not the Lakers. Who was the one seed? The Jazz. I wanted Steph to beat the Jazz so bad.
I think they could have done that. Like,
I think so too. I wanted it so bad.
The Grizzlies, like, I don't really know what happened there, but
the Grizzlies weren't ready.
Good for Ja though. Good for
Ja. He got one game. Then Donovan Mitchell came back and set fire to earth the next couple of games, which was expected. So
Man,
John's a
That's
fun
good.
guy. I really enjoy watching him.
I
Love
hate
me some
that
Jaw.
this year, like they update, like he just reached the minimum games required to be on it, and like you go look at the all-time playoff PPG list, and it's like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Donovan Mitchell.
That's fire,
Like,
man.
he's like fourth, like because
Love,
like yeah, he just decided to have 4 50-point games last year.
Mm.
love Mitch.
Jamal Murray's probably on that list after one more playoff run.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I believe it.
Mhm.
Ooh, speaking of Jamal Murray, what we see the Nuggets at? Is Aaron Gordon a free agent?
He's signed, I think.
He's still signed for another year.
Yeah, I think so. I
Okay,
think that's what it
So-
was.
Oh, it's cool. So what we see the Nuggets at? Do we believe in MPJ?
Yeah, I do. Big
Yeah,
time. I do.
it's a good group.
Still Drew.
I will never not believe in a 6'10" small forward who can shoot. Like that's just my type of guy. Like I will
Bob?
never not believe in him.
Are they a good team or are they contenders?
I mean, I think it's like it feels a bit flukish that they got swept by the Suns were, I think, just riding high off beating the Lakers, and
Mhm.
Yeah, and they were
obviously no
injured.
Jamal hurt, and you
And
know
they're playing
Devin. Yeah, Chris Paul was great. Props to him, but like
and the Nuggets were playing their like 10th and 11th men as their starting point guard and shooting guard. So
Mhm.
yeah, they're playing that Campuzzo guy, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Um,
they got
I
him and
think
Austin Rivers.
it's a good team for sure.
I
the
could
top
see them being in the conference finals again.
Depending on how the bracket shapes up on that side,
Mhm.
I couldn't see
They
them.
have the MVP. Whether you think he's the MVP or not, he won it. So
No, I think he's the MVP. I think he's a MVP caliber guy. I don't think he would have won if Embiid was healthy, but I think he's still that level regardless. So it's splitting hairs.
I mean, I was drumming the Steph MVP drum until it was way too late.
Mhm.
Now I had Steph as the winner going into the season before I saw how like terrible that supporting cast like really was.
I don't know. I forget. I probably had it with one of you. I think it might have been Nick, probably Nick. But like the definition of MVP is so strange,
Mhm.
where it's like I
Yeah.
don't really know like what should constitute one, because you'd be like, oh, it's supporting cast, and it's like, yeah, and Steph still balled out and got them that far
Yeah.
with that supporting
Mhm.
cast. Like, that's pretty valuable.
Yeah.
And then you start getting into what is valuable. Like, is Draymond the 2017 MVP for convincing KD to come?
I
That
mean,
was
it's
pretty valuable.
It's the media narrative that gets out there first and strongest. That's all it is.
Right.
Like who you can get the writers behind.
Pretty
Well,
much.
yeah, like the MVP is one of those things where it's like maybe they should probably have MVP.
But they have to do a better job of defining what it actually.
No, they should have two different. Like they should probably have MVP, which is like the best player on the best team type thing, and then like just best player.
Something I've always wanted to see in the NBA, and I've talked to Turn about this before, how the NFL does their top 100 guys. They have all the players vote on it. I would be really interested to see how they rank each other in like a top 50 or something like that.
They did that one year. I think it was
they did?
2015. Remember they did the Player Awards?
Yeah,
they
and
do
Harden
that?
won
Well,
MVP.
Yeah, well, Harden won MVP.
Harden won MVP over
But
Steph.
they did a top 50 though?
No, they didn't do a ranking. They just handed out.
Oh,
awards.
okay. They had the MVP, but I'd really be interested to see like a rankings though, how they rank each other.
Yeah, that'd be
Not
pretty.
respect.
I bet
interesting
you.
too.
No, the only thing that's dangerous about that though, there's one dangerous thing, and it's that like Melo is gonna be like 17th. Like you know that, right? Like
yeah.
it's gonna be pretty accurate, and like there's gonna be like we'll get one over on the nerds when it's like, oh yeah, like they only have Rudy like 58th, like hell yeah. But like
Right.
you would see some weird shit like that, like where it'd be like, I don't know about that, and they'd all be like Kelly Oubre would be like, Melo's a bucket.
Right. Or you have
Maybe.
the guy. Or you
Does
have
someone
guys.
think
being-
Jamal Crawford in?
Exactly. You have guys trying to be petty and vote Giannis in like the top 25 or something, opposed to like top 5 or 10 where he should be.
I mean, I always thought like it would be the play. Like I know that the pettiness thing, but like the players do know more than we
They
do.
do. They do.
And it's
I
like
give it to 'em.
it feels just so wrong to me that like players' pockets and like reputations are all behind Jared Weiss and Keith Smith.
Oh,
Like,
God.
Oh, don't do
like
Keith
no, I
Dirk.
mean like whoever votes for the awards, like Man, imagine like you lose out on generational wealth because Bill Simmons just doesn't like you. Like
Because
I'd be really.
someone gave Julius Randle a first team All NBA vote, and Tatum didn't get one.
Right.
I mean, Derrick Rose got a first place MVP. That was the fan vote, though.
I
When did
know.
he add a fan vote to the
I
MVP?
don't even remember.
That's dangerous. They should never.
The Knicks stuffed the ballot box.
No. The if the media shouldn't be voting on things, then I'll tell you this: the fans should never be voting on.
No,
them.
fan voting should count for like 10% of anything. Just 10%. It has to be something that can be outweighed easily by everybody.
You remember when Zaza almost started the All-Star game?
I was just wondering who it was.
Yeah.
Zaza, you're right.
Because all of Georgia, like the entire country of Georgia, voted for him.
I was just trying to think of who it was. It was Zaza.
All right, last thing. Way too early final predictions. Matchup.
I don't want to say like it's Nets Lakers, but I don't want to say that, so I'm going to say different ones.
I'll say the Nets. That's going to be one of them.
Okay, real answer, Nets, Lakers, and then fun answer where if all the pieces fall correctly and there's some key injuries and there's a good signing at the deadline, Celtics, Mavs.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Tatum, Celtics and 6 over Mavs. Tatum better than Luka agenda.
That's why that was
going all summer long if that happens.
That's the only reason why I said that. Oh, just real. Actually, no. I want you to do that, but we should mention the Olympics. But you should do yours, Nick.
Oh, it's not near that.
Yeah, I'll put the Nets there for sure. I mean, I can't believe I'm defending the Nets. I've found myself defending them a lot more than I thought I would, especially after the semifinals. But the Nets will make it there. I'm having trouble picking a team in the West, but I think if LeBron is able to get his rest and AD's not hurt, it just makes too much sense to put the Lakers there.
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably roll Nets Lakers too to be safe. I just see maybe the Heat sneaking out the East if everything. I turn and say if all the chips have to fall.
But it's
maybe
interesting because I'm trying to think of a team in the West, and it's like Kawhi. We don't know when he's going to get back. It's got to be someone else who the cards fall right for. I think there's not someone screaming out to me.
Maybe the Warriors if the cards fall right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nuggets.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. But what would you want to say about the Olympics, sir?
Oh, I just want to say that like it's nice that things are getting back on track because I was getting real scared at the beginning for this team.
I thought they were going to lose to Ricky Rubio last night.
Yeah, that would have sucked. But like, also Luka too. I will give Luka, as much as I'm like the Luka hater on Twitter, I will give him his props there that like that dude knows how to play FIBA ball.
This is his arena, man. This is what he grew up on.
No, it is so much different. Like it is like when I don't think he's lying when he says that it's easier to score in the NBA than there.
Yeah.
Because like if you know how to griff fouls, you can score really easily in the NBA. Like
and the NBA rule changes the last decade have made it so easy for the offensive player to where it probably is easier than over in Europe where they can still smack the ball off the rim where they can give you some shoves and stuff like that and play physical without getting bailed out.
With these new rules, like how Harden and Trey they're gonna take a step back a bit because of the new rules, but like Luka clearly knows how to play within them.
I don't know, man. They changed the rules one time because of Harden. He went out and still averaged like 35 a game. So
remember the rip through rule?
Yeah, with KD forced to rip through.
Both Kevins,
right?
Martin and Durant.
But,
I mean, going back to Rubio, like I've wanted to see this Rubio in the NBA my entire life. Like I thought he'd be like a Luka too coming into the league, and like now he's doing this still for Spain in 2021. Man, it's like when's it gonna happen?
Rubio was bodying guys yesterday when I was watching. I see him take like
Juan Carlos.
Or I say Luka, Rubio. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Rubio was bodying KD, Booker, Drew. I said, Jesus Christ.
That's what I mean. I've always wanted to see this Rubio. My apologies.
None of the great Spanish guards ever really panned out, like Juan Carlos Navarro and Rudy Fernandez.
Rudy Fernandez disappeared out of nowhere. But so look, we're gonna get the USA versus what's that country Luka plays for? I'm not trying to. How you pronounce it? Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Yes.
Gotcha. Slovenia. That's gonna be a good gold medal game. long as we beat Australia. That's gonna be a tough game too.
Mm-hmm.
Bad News Baines, Patty Mills. I think Tab was on that team.
No Ben Simmons though, right?
Nah, no Ben.
He plays for USA, doesn't he?
Is Baines playing?
Yeah, Baines.
He got hurt at one point, right?
Oh, what he did?
I saw something about a freak accident in the bathroom. I don't know what that meant, but
Simmons is still he would play for Australia if he played opposed to America. He just chose not to play.
He doesn't play for Team USA because like he's American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Kyrie was born.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. They convinced Hakeem to play on Team USA back in the '90s somehow.
Dude, I don't know how that one's legal.
No,
like I get it if you have American parents and you were born, like Kyrie's parents are from Newark and they had him in Australia. That's fine. Hakeem is like 10.
He's Nigerian through and through.
Yeah,
born,
he's
bred,
Nigerian. So like, how did that happen?
No, after this pod, I'm gonna Google and find out how it happened. I'm glad I brought that up. So I thought about like last week or so, but it's completely slipped my mind.
Well, actually, Serge Ibaka, do you remember he had to, his country didn't, the Congo didn't have a team, so he just played.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but the Congo was a Spanish colony, so it made sense that he.
That's right.
That's why I asked him about Embiid last night because he doesn't.
Him and Embiid and Siakam could be a tough trio.
Right, but now Embiid and Siakam are from Cameroon.
No, I know, but I thought Serge played for a different country.
Oh yeah,
who did he play for?
He played for Spain.
Oh, Spain, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they just let him pick a team.
Nah, because the Congo is a Spanish colony in Africa, so that's how that whole thing works.
All right, makes sense.
Yeah. But all right, then, to end every episode, we give the guests a top 5 segment where I ask you a handful of questions, you give me your personal faves. You ready?
Sounds good.
And Turn already had his first episode, so he's excluded. All right, first, the generic basketball question. I'm going to get your 5 favorite players ever.
Oof. All right. I'll put Tatum at the top.
Favorite ever?
Yeah, at this rate, yeah.
Go on.
Don't worry, Pierce is next, but I think Tatum's just taking him over. It's gonna be Garnett third, but it's gonna be Steph fourth.
And one more.
One more. Yep. I'll go. That's a good one. I'll go Rondo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. All right, next question. Let me get your top 5 movies ever. That's it.
Oh. See, Turn gets his movies from Wikipedia. I don't get my movies from anywhere at this rate.
This not the combo for Turn.
Yeah.
I mean, I've read some good ones.
I mean, these are just probably the 5 that I can think of. But I mean, the Benchwarmer is a good movie. Good Will Hunting. I know Turn's on a fan of that one. I love Good Will.
No, I've seen it. I like it.
Turn didn't like the description when you read it.
No, I've seen any movie that takes place in Boston was like force fed down our throats growing up. Remember, like that, the town, like the part of it's just gospel. So I've seen it.
Remember the Titans.
Nice.
That's a favorite of mine. The Dark Knight.
Oof.
Fifth, you know what the 5th one? Uncut Gems.
Ooh, Uncut Gems.
Took me a second, but yeah, that's a good one. KG was pretty good in that.
He was.
Yeah.
I want to see KG in more movies than he's not playing himself. I wish he was in Space Jam.
No, I don't want to run.
I would love like writing those lines.
No, but KG can do it.
Me and my girl are gonna see. We've been planning on seeing Space Jam too. Like, not be in. She was so surprised when I wanted to see it because she's like, "You don't even like movies and you don't like LeBron," and I'm like, "I know, but like, I just kind of want to go. Like, I want to live tweet. Like, I want to tweet about it. So like, I have to see it so I can like tweet about it. But like, it doesn't look good.
No,
I know it's for kids. I get it. Like, I'm so sick of people saying that it's for kids. Well, a lot of shit for kids sucks.
Oh man! All right, last top 5. Let me get your. It's just music. Let me get your top 5 artists you like.
Oof. Okay. Kendrick
Who's in a-
Lamar is my all-time favorite.
Hip hop chat. Shout out.
Here we go. Shout out. Yep. Kanye. It's hip hop for sure. Travis Scott. I don't know if I can give you 2 after that. It's more of who I'm listening to because it does fluctuate a lot. Right now, I got to shout out Sulky for this one. It's Benny the Butcher. I've been listening to him a little more.
Benny the Butcher. Nice.
And
last one.
You know what? For now, I'll say Freddie Gibbs.
Ooh, that's a nice 5.
I like listening to Freddie Gibbs.
It's a nice 5. Not mad at all. All right, brothers. I appreciate y'all coming on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Anytime. Always welcome back.
2 more times and I get to be like the 5-time guest on SNL. Like Tom Hanks or something.
Yeah.
Right. But all right, guys. Thanks, man. We'll get you
nice
guys back on. We'll get you guys back on here and chop it up during the season a couple times when there's more selfish stuff to talk about. Hopefully, we all aren't having like a crisis by then.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the timeline has calmed down and everybody's in the good mood. Not freaking out.
No one's ever in a good mood. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since Kyrie left. No one's ever been in a good mood since.
The Kemba smiles didn't help.
Kemba's smiles only made everyone more mad.
It did. Poor Kemba. Hope he's enjoying Oklahoma. But all right, guys, that's all, man.
All right.
Hit it, D.
See ya.